I'm Dr. Bilal Bhat IAS 2017 batch, presently working as SDM in Jammu and Kashmir, and today I will be interacting with you on a topic which has like many connotations, but unfortunately the topic's name doesn't suit especially for UPSC examination, because nobody fails in a UPSC examination. Very true, somebody has written it. It's a type of examination where you get a lot of things to learn. You can get success if you work hard and if you follow a particular guidance, as well as show some sort of persistency and consistency. And even if you don't, you will really succeed in your life. Success is not all about qualifying IAS or qualifying the allied 18 services which UPSC is conducting examination, for which we are preparing. But it is striving well. And it's being sincere and putting efforts sincerely, and then leave it to God. And definitely one who has put all these efforts with sincerity, and even if he doesn't qualify, he will land somewhere which is very good, and that will be benefiting him throughout the life. So I will take the comments at the last. So presently I will take sessions. I will take the questions at the last. So the question is, now coming to the topic, when I say that if a person who has worked hard, who has done everything, put a lot of efforts, 1 year of preparation, has given 10 to 12 to 13 hours of sittings at a place in Delhi and working for it, that why we are not able to qualify. I just want to address to that point, that are there certain weaknesses in a candidate or in a student, that why he is not able to qualify, maybe prelims 2 and 3 times, maybe mains 2 to 3 times, or interview. So I am trying to address that thing, because with my experience I can tell you that I appeared 4 times prelims, but I couldn't qualify 3 times, and in 4th attempt I got 10th rank. Now with that experience, as well as the examinations I have already qualified, particularly in my state services or Indian Forest Services, then IAS, I have a small amount of this experience which I want to share with you. Why there is some sort of inhibitions in students that they don't qualify this examination by putting so much of efforts. Maybe we can address them. So first point, what I recall from my experience is that they do not understand the requirement of the examination. If we will see this examination, it has a different syllabus, at least to start with. Then we have a pattern prelims, mains, then we have personality test and medical test. Now if I recall my preparation days, I used to prepare from the mains perspective, always focusing on the conceptual clarity and writing and other things. But unfortunately I was not doing well in prelims. I know it is an integrated, ये जो UPSC की तैयारी है, it is an integrated तैयारी. मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि prelims के लिए you have to study something different, mains के लिए you have to something different. There is an integrated way, but there is a difference. If you are preparing, you have to first qualify prelims. Only then you can qualify, that you can reach to mains and qualify mains and go to interview stage. So it's very important to know that you have to crack prelims. So you have to just change your strategy when there is prelims 3 months before, like solving a lot of mock tests, so that you can qualify it. So what I did, I used to prepare only from mains perspective, and I always I was losing my insight that how to qualify this prelims. So unfortunately I couldn't do it in 3 attempts. Finally I realized my mistake and did it. So I want to convey to all students who are watching my video that It is an integrated study, but there is a pattern. There's a prelims 3 months before. There's a pattern by which you can crack this examination prelims by solving a lot of mock tests, by solving objectives, by solving past year papers, see the trend, what they are asking in prelims, and qualify this examination. Similarly, then you can go to main. So don't lose the perspective of the examination. That is the first point I want to tell you. The second point about why students are not able to crack this examination after long enduring study is not clearing the basics. When I talk of basics, बहुत सारे बच्चे दिल्ली आते हैं and they go to Rajendra Nagar and see a lot of books and stuffs and they feel that toppers do something different and there is something some different books which toppers read. Absolutely rubbish and wrong. We need to clear basics, and the basics come from NCERT. Go to NCERT and read them well. Read them line by line and understand each and every bit. Sip each and every line of NCERTs. That is the key. Once you do that, then everything is fine. It's just like building a house. आप पहले सबसे पहले story बनाते हो, plinth बनाते हो. The more stronger the base is, the bigger the house can become. So that is the most. Go to the NCERTs, go to the basics and study it well. People go to different books. They see a lot of books coming in the market and they lose the perspective. They waste time in reading those books. Just go to NCERTs, read NCERTs, and then follow by the standard text, standard reference books, which you know, which all of you know. Now, the third concrete point I want to convey to all the viewers: don't go for switchover syndrome. We call it switchover syndrome. That, for example, if you are reading one book, then suddenly you go to market, you go to some shop in Rajendra Nagar and find a new book there, and then you feel कि नहीं जी आज नई book पढ़ लेते हैं. And similarly you waste time. आपने एक book पढ़ी, then you thought कि आधी book करके complete या complete book आपने पढ़ ली, then you go to a different book and you lose complete that the hard work, the time you have devoted to first book, and then you want to change to other book. It happened to me. I read a lot of books for economics. I started with Ramesh Singh. I got then somebody told me go to Shriram. Then somebody told me to go to Sanjeev Verma sir. Then somebody told me to go for many things books. I lost a lot of time. So decide on the resource. Decide on what you have to read, and then stick to it. Stick to one book. Multiple books is not the solution. The solution is the right material, and you have to read them again and again, revise them better, so that you can memorize, you can understand the concepts, and then finally you can do two things. One, you can solve the prelims question in a much better way without losing marks in negatives, and second, you can write good answers, because you have to recapitulate what you read, and you have to recapitulate and translate and put it on the paper in mains. So the more revise you do, the better you become. So read only one resource and read them again and again. So no switchover syndrome from this time when you are listening to me. So the fourth point I want to convey is, don't use wrong resources, wrong material. So I would suggest that before studying any material, try to do discussion अपने friends के साथ, the people who have qualified examination, and then decide on कि आपको कौन सी books पढ़नी है. You can't have a 5-year plan for cracking an IAS examination unnecessarily. Some people they have a lesson, they give a lesson, so you don't do the mistakes. आप mistakes ना करें. So what you will do is you will select the right resources and read it without wasting any time. Now the fifth point I want to tell you is that do not read blindly everything. I mean to say, there is a trend. You have to become a smart worker. There are two approaches. One is in wholesale approach and another is a retail approach. The wholesale approach is just go on reading all the books and all the material and whatever you want, whatever comes in the way. The another way is reading NCERTs and good textbooks and reading again and again and doing the work smartly. जब मैं smartly की बात कर रहा हूँ, smartly means that you have to study the trend. There is a definite trend in UPSC. You can follow that trend by going back to the 5 years question bank and as well as the syllabus, as well as whatever is happening around you in terms of current affair, in terms of newspapers, and act smartly. Okay? What they are asking, there is a different pattern. Maybe it may little bit change, but they follow certain things. So do not lose perspective in that way. So go to the past papers and try to understand how they are asking question, what they are asking, in what way they are doing it. That's very important. Now, sixth point I want to tell you is that, which is very, very critical, and I believe that was very important for me. In previous attempts, I used to revise less. I used to always read new things, and that is something which was disastrous. Try to revise as much as possible. If you are studying for a week, keep one day for revision. Revise again and again so that you can fetch good marks in mains, as well as you have less negatives in prelims. So revision is the one single thing I changed in my fourth attempt. I revised a lot of things. The seventh point I want to convey is students tend to read continuously, and they are afraid. They are afraid of self-assessment. When I talk of self-assessment, I mean to say, if I have read a book, or if I have read a syllabus or textbooks for 2 to 3 months, I'm not applying myself. Whether whatever I am reading, am I reading in well, or there are any misconceptions developing in my mind? How you will remove those things? The only thing is by solving more and more questions, particularly prelims, mock tests, and answer writing. These are the two things you can do which will help you in a lot. So self-assessment is must. Sometimes people feel that they will not go for self-assessment because they feel it's like it's an awkward situation. You feel कि यार कौन करेगा test अपने आप को, कौन करेगा, I don't know, I'm afraid of self-assessment. But the more self-assessment you do after reading textbooks, after reading NCERTs, the better you will become. The assessments will tell you where is the weak point, why is your strong point even. Then you can differentially put your limited time into those things. आप वहीं पर टाइम देंगे जहाँ पर आपको weakness लगता है. You don't need to go for all the resources again and again. ठीक है? So that's very important. That's why self-assessment is must. Self-assessment, I talked about prelims test papers, lot of mock tests, and then also the answer writing in mains. Well, on the 8th point, I want to tell that there's a lot of myths related to UPSC examination, IAS examination, and I want to demystify them. Sometimes people are always wasting time in clarifying these myths. Let me first give you a caveat that nobody knows what's happening in UPSC. Like, there is no study, there is no statistical evidence in terms of कैसे लिखना होता है, किस तरीके का लिखना होता है, पैराग्राफ लिखना होता है, पॉइंट लिखना होता है. Nobody knows. सब एग्जाम देते क्वालिफाई होते हैं, कुछ पता नहीं क्या हुआ, हमने पेपर तो देखा नहीं अपना. So do not get into this thing. Nobody knows. So you are the best guide. You are different. We all are different. Toppers, you can't mimic toppers. You can just follow what they have done, but you can't mimic them. That's very important. So try to stay away from these myths, particularly related to exam. The first myth I want to tell you is, when I came to Delhi, people told me that this is very, very difficult examination and toppers are something which are like totally out of like we can't reach to that. That is one of the biggest myth I uncovered first in the Delhi. I can tell you one thing, toppers do जो भी बुक्स दिल्ली में हैं, जो भी आपके पास अभी बुक्स हैं, उन्हीं से टॉपर बनते हैं. द ओनली थिंग इज हाउ यू रीड देम. आर यू फॉलोइंग द गाइडलाइंस और नॉट. ठीक है, क्या आप में बिलीफ है, फेथ है इस एग्जाम को क्वालिफाई करने के लिए, वो पैशन है, दैट्स ओनली व्हाट मैटर्स. अगर आपको सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है, देन दिस एग्जाम इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. ठीक है. also myths related to answer writing. मेरा इंग्लिश ठीक नहीं है, मैं कैसे राइटिंग करूंगा, हाउ आई शुड राइट, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग इंग्लिश होनी चाहिए, वोकैबुलरी होनी चाहिए. एब्सोल्युटली रबिश. नथिंग. बेसिक इंग्लिश 10th क्लास का, जिसमें आप अपना whatever you want to convey to the examiner, if you are able to convey it, you are a perfect person. But the question is, But the question is, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Okay, so do not fall into these myths. Okay. Also, there are many myths related to personality test also. So also the same thing. As a personality, it will improve day by day. As you have more knowledge, more understanding about the issues ongoing around you, you have better perspective, you have better view, you become your personality, you reflect better things. Okay? And this time, and this examination, it teaches you a lot of things to become a more stronger person who can face tough times. So it will help you. Also related to the, I was already telling you, I was distracted by the phone about the language. You don't need a hi-fi language. Just if you are written a 10th class examination, if you are to convey what you want to write in a proper way, you can convey it. And let me tell you one thing, that even if there is weakness in writing or whatever, the good news for all the students is that they can improve on it. Whether that will be handwriting, whether that will be whatever related to the language comprehension, everything can be improved by sheer hard work and consistency. Okay, so now the next point is on the same pattern. These were the myths. The next point, 9th point I want to convey is lack of consistency and persistency. This exam requires a lot of consistency. Like if you want to read 12-13 hours a day, आप 12 घंटा 13 घंटा पढ़ेंगे, and then एक दिन 12 घंटा पढ़ेंगे, दूसरे दिन 2 घंटे पढ़ेंगे, तीसरे दिन छोड़ ही देंगे, and or it doesn't work like this. If you have to work consistently. ठीक है. एंड ये एक आदत बनानी है हार्ड वर्क करने की, चाहे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने की, चाहे कोई करंट अफेयर पढ़ने की, चाहे कोई ऑप्शनल पढ़ने की, चाहे जो भी आपका टाइम टेबल, यू हैव टू स्टिक टू योर टाइम टेबल एंड शो सम सॉर्ट ऑफ कंसिस्टेंसी फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. तभी इंप्रूवमेंट आती है. आपको कभी ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि दिस एग्जामिनेशन आफ्टर वर्क पुटिंग सो मच एफर्ट कि आपको लगेगा कि मैं जी बिल्कुल तैयार हो गया. दिस फीलिंग, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट ये फीलिंग आएगी, बिकॉज द सिलेबस इज सो वास्ट, current affair is so vast, you need a lot of consistency to reach to that point. So consistency and persistency are very, very important. You have to show a lot of patience. So these two terms, consistency, patience and persistence, are the most important things which will sail you through the journey of UPSC examination. The 10th point I want to focus is that students who prepare, who come to Delhi or whatever, where from they are preparing, they lose the focus on this examination. They tend to focus on others, what others are doing and what others are reading, rather than what they should do. Remember, this is sheer wastage of time. The only thing you can do is act on yourself, act on what you know, what are your weaknesses, how you can become a better person and a better with a better technique to qualify this examination. The only way you can do it is focus on yourself. Do not focus on others, what they are doing, and lose all the perspective and lose all the insight to this examination. 11th point I want to tell to all the candidates who are out there and watching this video is, there is no magic wand. I will tell you, there is no magic wand. कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है ये examination. This examination is just a strong passion to become an IAS officer or strong passion to become an officer, and then working very, very hard to qualify the examination. To qualify this examination. So no magic wand. All the toppers, जो भी टॉप किए हैं इस एग्जामिनेशन में, जिन्होंने भी क्वालिफाई किया है, जो उनके पास टूल्स थे, बुक्स थे, टेक्स्ट बुक्स थे, वो आप लोगों के पास भी है. कुछ नया नहीं है, सिर्फ हार्ड वर्क, कंसिस्टेंसी और एक प्रॉपर अप्रोच से ये एग्जाम को क्वालिफाई किया जा सकता है. सो डू नॉट सर्च फॉर सम मैजिक वैंड. ओके, एंड रीच टू द एंड. फाइनली देयर आर मीन्स. डू नॉट गेट स्टक इन द मीन्स. मीन्स को जल्दी आइडेंटिफाई करो. व्हाट आर द मीन्स थ्रू व्हिच यू कैन क्वालिफाई दिस एग्जामिनेशन, एंड फाइनली क्वालिफाई दिस एग्जामिनेशन. रीच टू द एंड. डू नॉट गेट स्टक इन टू द मीन्स. कौन सी बुक पढ़नी है, अब आज ये बुक पढ़ूंगा, कल दूसरी बुक पढ़ूंगा. Stick to the plan. Make a good plan and make a good resource what you have to read, and stick to it and work hard. So these are the all points which I wanted to discuss with you about, that why some people, after putting so much of hard work, do not qualify the examination. Maybe these might be certain points which I felt that जो मैंने जब तैयारी की, जब मैं एग्ज़ाम दे रहा था, जब मैंने इतने साल लगाए इसमें, तो मुझे लगा कि ये कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं which can help you. So but these are not sacrosanct. So everyone has the best thing is to focus on yourself and to find what is your weaknesses and to follow a particular guideline. ठीक है, not to mimic any topper and other things, but and believe on yourself that you can qualify the examination. So these are the points, and thank you so much for listening. And now I will take some certain questions. You can comment